Joining me now is a woman who will get a crack at a title in Legacy Fighting Alliance LFA in December. She has not been on the scene, unfortunately, since early 2020. Jamey-Lyn Horth Wessels, thanks for joining me today.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Now, I mean, people might not even remember you. It seems like it's been forever since we've seen you, and I hate to say it because you were on such a roll. You had the Contender Series shot, and that fell through. Why don't we talk about that? Like, just go through that whole process with me because I don't know if a lot of people know about it. You had Contender Series lined up. You were about to make the trek down to Vegas, and what happened?
Well, we originally thought, so I'd fought for Battlefield back in February 2020, and we originally thought with my agents that Contenders was supposed to hopefully happen in May. So we were going to take a little break just after that fight and then hopefully get an offer in May of 2020. And then, COVID happened in March, and then things just started to get more grim for sort of events and such. So we got postponed until we found out later in the summer in October that I would be fighting. And then with Abu Dhabi on the market, the UFC decided to go back right before that event for the last two Contender Series out of the 10 episodes they were running. So they postponed episode 9 and 10, which I was on 10, to the end of November. So we had an extra 5 weeks of training camp. So yeah, I mean, it was a long drawn out training camp for that fight. And then to top it off, to be told, less than 3 weeks before you're supposed to go that we weren't going to get that opportunity. It really was a big slap in the face. Going from October to November, that 5 extra weeks of training camp, I just felt like, things should have been maybe figured at that point or handled at that point, but it was just so far out of our hands that it really freaking hurt.
And then trying to get fights lined up. I mean, I've spoke to Casey about that over the last year, if not longer. These girls are just not wanting to fight you. They've turned everything down. You've fought girls that have made their way. You've beaten them, and they've made their way to either the show or other big organizations, and people are saying no to you. How frustrating is that for you?
It's frustrating for me, really, because I'm only getting older, and once I get to this event in December here, it'll be 22 months since my last fight. So, I have 4 pro fights under my belt, which isn't a lot when you look at it. So to me, it's just like, well, why wouldn't people want to fight me? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't people want to just say yes to fights? Like what happened to like the best of the best fighting the best of the best, um, politics and protecting records and all these things. I get that, but I mean, I'm just so old school, just like hard work and take challenges and push yourself. So it's been really, really like, not that I ever would want to say I'm done with my career, because I would never want to go through my life saying what if, but it was really mentally challenging, just being like, hey, like, is this opportunity ever going to be there for me? You know what I mean? Like 6 no's basically in the last year or so.
That's brutal. Speaking of that, like you said, there is this opportunity ever going to happen for me? Mentally, it was a struggle. Physically, though, you seem like you're at the best place in the point of your career. Your Instagram, I still see you training every single day, and over the past 2 years, you have been training every single day. Um, there's obviously been some ups and downs with the training, and you found a new home. We're not going to go into why, but what's the training camp been like thus far, and leading up to this? Your new home. Obviously, you're still with the Sound, but you're headed over with Jay Johnsey, correct?
Yeah. So we made some business decisions a little while back here, just some change of scenery, and it's been great. I've been there for a few weeks now. Been in training camp basically for 2 years, but it's been a good last 3 weeks of training camp. We have some girls coming down from Kelowna, Maria. We also have Loopy and a couple other girls in the corridor. So, camp's in full swing. I'm always in camp, but now it's just time to just fine tune all the things that we've been learning. I honestly, even though I haven't had a fight in the last 2 years, uh, I know that I've made some huge improvements, and I'm excited to show the progress that I've made thus far.
Moving over with Jay, I mean, hearing him coach from the sidelines, he's got a mind like basically no other. I mean, there's a few guys locally. We see Dan Kayach, who has that same sort of mentality. He can see what people are doing inside the cage. Just being in a room with a guy like Jay, what have you noticed, even just being there with him for the past couple weeks? Like you said, it hasn't been long. It's only been a few weeks, but have you noticed the change in your game just over those past few weeks?
Yeah, it's funny because when I first, like, I've obviously the MMA scene and being through the Lower Mainland here, it's such a small community. So once you're kind of in that, you kind of know everybody. And I've talked to Jay and Josh, the guys from WKX intermittently out through fights and events and such. And Jay's always had like little things to say to Nas, and Nas would come to me and be like, "Oh, Jay said this, like he doesn't want to step on toes, but he said like this, he's seen this, he said that." And when I finally made the connection with him, when Casey and I reached out, he was like, "Finally," you know what I mean? He's like, "I've been watching you for years, like thank God," you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be nice to work with you. Like I know I can help you. Like I have so much faith in you, and I know there's a few things that I'd like to tweak, and even just after the first week, the 2 sessions I went there, we've had nothing but success. I just feel like a lot of the little things that I needed to work on are already like within such a short amount of time. I've already made like huge leaps and bounds. So I'm pretty excited about that. Just to see like that connection. I've been working with somebody for 3 years, and I've made this decision. Strictly for business, and to that's a big change, and there's always like that what if, and am I doing the right thing? So yeah, I feel like I've really made the right move here. I really feel like I'm already seeing those improvements.
Physically, obviously, you're seeing the improvements. You spoke mentally. It was a tough 2 years. What helped you get through those little rough patches where you say, "What if? Am I going to get these?" What helped you mentally get through the last couple of years?
You know what? Like I have a great team behind me. I train with some of the best here in the Lower Mainland, and watching Loopy get that opportunity, that really gave me a little taste of blood. Um, and knowing that I had that opportunity with the Contender Series, it was like that opportunity was right there and right at my grasp. So I know it's not. I know it's not a far and a hard. I mean, not hard, but I know it's not a very far off obtainable thing. So for me personally, it's like I'm just so used to competition. I'm an athlete, like whether I'm in a competition or not, I just love challenging myself and setting a goal and pushing. So I just think that my will to win and my motivation to get to this next level is just so high that I just don't have any other option. You know what I mean? I quit my job last September for a Contender Series, and Casey's done a really big job here, and helped me support me more financially so I could do that. And, this is my job. This is what I do every day. I do it 6 days a week. I'm having 2 sessions a day, and I just, I love it. So
It seems like Casey sort of, well, it doesn't seem like it, handed over the reins to Cole as head coach up at the Sound now of the MMA squad. How much of a change has that been? And seeing Cole sort of move through with you guys in the Sound, it's super cool.
it's been great. It's no secret. Cole's very dedicated. He's very knowledgeable. He's constantly learning. He travels. He goes to places that he's never been. He just puts himself in situations where he's never been anywhere. He's uncomfortable, but he goes. He's a sponge for the sport, and he brings back that knowledge to our gym. He's adapted a new style of implementing and practicing the same things, and we just each session is the same things over and over, and we just build off of it. And it's really helped a lot of us in the gym. He's here up in the Sound. We do 2 days a week, 3 with jiu-jitsu, but MMA days, and then he's down at Revolution twice a week as well with our fight team down there. And it's just that building that constant thing. It's like going to the gym and you learn a gi choke here, or you learn an armbar here, or you learn pieces each day or each week, but do you really obtain that information? Are you really like soaking it in and learning from that? So we've kind of just adapted, and Cole's just made some changes with how he coaches, and it's been absolutely tremendous to see the progress that our team's making.
So December 10th, LFA, finally you get that shot. Another championship around your waist. It's been some time, like we said. How'd you find out about this fight, and how excited were you to finally hear that someone signed on the dotted line?
We got a message about 3.5 weeks ago, and our agencies just said, "Hey, what do you think about this fight?" And it's for LFA, and we're just like, didn't even blink an eye. Don't even think they even finished the sentence before we said, "Fuck yeah," you know. It's been 22 weeks, man, or 22 months. It'll be to the day, and like I said, we've never said no. Any opportunity that they give us, we'll take it, and I'm always up for a challenge, and I'm excited. So
your opponent, you guys are both making debuts with LFA, which is nice that it's not like some veteran of the promotion. It doesn't really matter, I'm sure, to you who it is that you get in front of you, because as you said, at this point, it's been so long. Throw anybody in there. But what do you know about her? How do you see the fight playing out?
So she is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but we all know, rolling in a gi is a lot different when you're doing sport MMA, and there's punches being thrown at you. So she definitely is going to have some ground game, and she's a southpaw, so that'll be a new for me in a fight. Not that I don't train or haven't trained with southpaws and such before, but so that'll be a new thing for me, and I'm excited to play around with that. So I feel like personally this is going to be a standing match. I just, honestly, like every other fight, I don't, doesn't matter to me where it goes. I've had finishes on the feet, on the ground, and submission. So either way, I think I'm going to see myself dominating either spot, but I really feel like it's going to be a stand and bang kind of competition here.
This fight takes place in Prior Lake, Minnesota, an interesting location for a fight. It's not that mecca of Vegas or anything like that. How excited are you to sort of play this out somewhere other than Canada? And do you plan on taking in Minnesota a little bit before or after the fight?
Honestly, on these trips, like the only other time I've fought outside of BC was when I went to Quebec, and that was a new experience, as I'd never been there. I just feel like when I go there, it's all business. It doesn't really matter. By the time I get there, it's media and it's weigh-ins and it's fight and go home and just get the job done. But any opportunity I can to get out and just see a little bit of where I'm going, it's pretty cool to say I've been somewhere. Maybe I haven't done all their monumental things in town, but it'll be pretty cool to just have that on the resume for sure.
A few more things here. We spoke about how we have such a cool, tight-knit crew here in British Columbia. Cole is heading you guys up at the Sound. You guys come down to Revolution. You've got WKX now. We know Cole's made the trek down to Kansas and training with James Krause and stuff like that. Do you plan on training elsewhere and maybe going down there or trying other aspects out through the course of your career now?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to go to Mexico. Lupi just took off for a month. Actually, she flew out today to go down there and train with a couple girls. I think Alexa Grasso is getting ready for a fight down there, and a couple other girls too. So I've had those opportunities. Unfortunately, just with now being selfish with my fight, I just needed to stay at home and make sure I get everything I need. But that's definitely something that we've constantly talked about. Cross training is huge for us. Like I said, we go down to the city and we go to Universal and Langley. I'm at WKX, and we're kind of just all over the map. So I'm a huge fan of cross training, and I would take any opportunity to go train somewhere else. Obviously, with the last couple of years of COVID, it's made it difficult to make those decisions, and we discussed me going to some other places. My agents just said at the time it wouldn't be helpful in obtaining me to get another fight. So, but yeah, that's definitely not off the table.
LFA 120 goes down December 10th. For those fans, obviously they can watch it on UFC Fight Pass. When you were fighting for Battlefield, you didn't have the opportunity to fight on Fight Pass. It's pretty exciting. The hometown crowd will get to actually watch you stand and bang, get down on the ground, do your thing live over UFC Fight Pass. How cool is that?
That's going to be amazing. Like I said before in past interviews, I'm from Squamish, BC, and this community here is amazing. They've been nothing but great to all of us athletes. We have a wicked crew here. You know, it's definitely a huge drive in the motivation for a lot of us competing here out of Squamish. And I think not having them physically there, like at a battlefield event, screaming their heads off with T-shirts on, may the force be with you. For them to have little parties and be at home and get those sort of photos and still feel that energy from my hometown, I think that's going to be huge.
Finally, before I let you go here, as we said, 22 months off. Maybe these fans, obviously the hometown fans, the people that have watched you fight in British Columbia know who you are and know what you bring to the cage and the excitement factor that you have. But for the people that may not know Jamey-Lyn Horth, what can they expect on December 10th?
Well, they can expect the best version of who I am, and I'm gonna put on a show-stopping display this December 10th. I'm pretty excited.
Good luck. Cannot wait to see you back in there.
Thank you so much.
And